6. Notes. Line 13. Cerberus. In classical mythology, Cerberus appears as a three-headed dog. His master was Pluto, king of the underworld. Cerberus was placed at the gate of the underworld to allow all to enter, but none to escape. His three heads and his ravenous disposition make him an apt symbol of gluttony. Line 14. Like a mad dog. Cerberus is a dog in classical mythology, but Dante seems clearly to have visualized him as a half-human monster. The beard, line 16, suggests that at least one of his three heads is human, and many illuminated manuscripts so represent him. Line 38. Until one wraith among them. As the poets pass, one of the damned sits up and asks if Dante recognizes him. Dante replies that he does not, and the wraith identifies himself as a Florentine nicknamed Ciacco, the hog. Little is known about Ciacco. Boccaccio refers to a Florentine named Ciacco in the Decameron, Book 9, and several conflicting accounts of him have been offered by various commentators. All that need be known about him, however, is the nature of his sin and the fact that he is a Florentine. Whatever else he may have been does not function in the poem. Line 42. You had been made before I was unmade. That is, you were born before I died. The further implication is that they must have seen one another in Florence, a city one can still walk across in 20 minutes and around in a very few hours. Dante certainly would have known everyone in Florence. Line 61, Ciacco's prophecy. This is the first of the political prophecies that are to become a recurring theme of the Inferno. It is the second if we include the political symbolism of the greyhound in Canto 1. Dante is, of course, writing after these events have all taken place. At Easter time of 1300, however, the events were in the future. The whites and the blacks of Ciacco's prophecy should not be confused with the Guelphs and the Ghibellines. The internal strife between the Guelphs and the Ghibellines ended with the total defeat of the Ghibellines. By the end of the 13th century, that strife had passed, but very shortly a new feud began in Florence between white Guelphs and black Guelphs. A rather gruesome murder perpetrated by Boccaccio de Cancellieri became the cause of new strife between two branches of the Cancellieri family. On May 1st of 1300, the white Guelphs, Dante's party, drove the black Guelphs from Florence in bloody fighting. 2 years later, however, within 3 sons, the blacks, aided by Dante's detested Boniface VIII, returned and expelled most of the prominent whites, among them Dante, for he had been a member of the Priorate city council that issued a decree banishing the leaders of both sides. This was the beginning of Dante's long exile from Florence. Line 70, two are honest. In the nature of prophecies, this remains vague. The two are not identified. Lines 76 to 77, Farinata will appear in Canto 10 among the heretics, Tegiaio and Jacopo Rosticucci in Canto 16, with the homosexuals, Mosca in Canto 28, with sowers of discord. Arrigo does not appear again, and he has not been positively identified. Dante probably refers here to Arrigo or Odorigo de Fifanti, one of those who took part in the murder of Buondelmonte. Line 87, speak my name. Excepting those shades in the lowest depths of hell, whose sins are so shameful that they wish only to be forgotten, all of the damned are eager to be remembered on earth. The concept of the family name and of its survival in the memories of men were matters of first importance among Italians of Dante's time, and expressions of essentially the same attitude are common in Italy today. Line 103, your science. Science to the man of Dante's time meant, specifically, the writings of Aristotle,